right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. Tonight is the finale of the 2022 running of the fastest 4 days in motorsports with the King of the West 410 sprint cars. And tonight we are going to be competing here at the Grays Harbor Raceway. Now this is a 3/8 clay mile oval located in Elma, Washington. I've ran plenty of races here before, and this is actually the only track of 3 this weekend that I've ran a 410 in before, which was with the World of Outlaws in September of 2021. Currently, we have a couple of push truck drivers rolling in the surface. It rained here a ton yesterday. They had to cancel the show. There was standing water all over the track. So what they did this morning to try to help it out is they tilled it all up, and with how windy it is, they were trying to use the wind and just letting it being open, like getting the opportunity to breathe to kind of dry out all the material. But now, as you can see, it almost looks dry, and when these guys drive by sometimes, if they're going fast enough, it's dusty. So I'm gonna drop a quick prediction to start today's video. Tonight is either going to be really heavy and probably get pretty rough, or it's going to be super slick and kill tires. Now, even if it does kill tires, it can still be a good surface, but I don't really think there's going to be an in-between. It's just going to depend on the weather, if any more showers hit us, and what the track does when the sun goes down. We're expecting anywhere between probably 14 and 16 cars tonight to finish off our weekend. We've had a lot of speed. We want to end on a good note. We ran 6th the first 2 nights, and our goal tonight would be a top 5. Let's get it all started with engine heat and then right into hot laps and qualifying. I told you guys, I said tonight at Grays Harbor is either going to be killing tires and dusty all night, or it's going to get hooked up and be really, really rough. Sure enough, non-wing went out to hot lap before the 410s, and it was like a dust bowl. You couldn't stand by the fence because the amount of material that was being thrown and the rocks that were hitting us spectators. So we went way up top just to watch, and it was just a very dirty surface. So as a crew, we agreed to put on our junkiest tires that would get a rough amount of stagger that we wanted to go on hot lap and get an idea. Then we came in, made some more adjustments, put on newer tires, because obviously when you're qualifying, you got to have good rubber on. And we were the 5th car to roll out of 13 tonight at the Grays Harbor Raceway, and ended up 4th quick. Now I know some of you guys are thinking like, Tanner, not a lot of cars, man, low car count. That is true, but the quality of cars is there. If you look at the guys that we out qualified, very stellar race car drivers. So that's a good start to our night. Now we're gonna start 2nd row inside for the heat race. My only worry, even though it was dusty, even though it was crumbly for hot laps and qualifying, there's still a chance if we get deep enough or it starts to get soft in certain spots, or if they water it, the grip could come back. So this might be really interesting. I'll keep you guys updated, but still, best qualifying run yet, and really happy with the speed we have in our 18T. Just 2 really, really good laps here.
Also, again, while things are quiet, once again,
look at that.
thank you to Air One HVAC.
Well, that is that, ladies and gentlemen, right there is what just ended our heat race or put us in a really bad spot. Started third. I thought it was going to be in a good one, you know, considering we were on the inside. Our row kind of went. I mean, we got going good. Got into one. Thought I was maybe going to get into second. I was like, if I go third to second, I'm going to be looking really sporty for this dash, for the top 6. And I told you that was the goal. As you accumulate points through qualifying your heat race, you just try to do as good as you can in both. That puts you farther up front in the A main event. But started running, made some contact with another car, and I thought initially that's what cut my right rear down, but I obviously ran over some sort of debris. Came in, my super sister Carly put one of our other right rears on that we had on top of the mule ready to go. So thanks to her, got back out but didn't gain any spots, and that tire was also way far off. It cut a bunch of stagger, so it was, I guess, at least a little bit of a test. We were able to see what that did, but it really didn't feel that great. So cut a right rear down running 4th, and even if we would have ran 4th, I think we would have been in the dash. So just disappointing. Sometimes things like that are out of your control screw up, you know, your results. I did kind of run a little bit of a sloppy heat race anyway. I needed some work. I needed to open up my entry a little bit. I got too stuck on trying not to miss the bottom. Therefore, I was running the bottom a little too slow. Well, the night is flying by here at the Grays Harbor Raceway, about to strap in for 30 laps. Now, because of the car count and just where everyone finished in their heat races, I ended up 8th in points, so I'm going to be starting 8th here in this feature. 4th row outside, not a bad spot. With the smaller field, we're probably not going to be in much lap traffic. We got some fresh rubber mounted up because the racetrack has been hard on tires tonight, and you know, overall, in a nice way, it just hasn't really been that racy. It's very good around the bottom, and with how wide this place is, I just wish it could just get wider and a little bit closer towards the outside wall, you know, maybe 3/4 of the way up. I've seen it before, and we just haven't necessarily had that tonight. So they just went out and watered the top, so that is kind of the question mark going into this A main event. Will that water really help the outside? Will it create, you know, a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th groove up there? And if it does, I do think we're going to have a good surface. If it doesn't, and we're all kind of migrating to the bottom, and it maybe takes rubber down there, it's going to be very difficult to pass. So I'm going to strap in, get my helmet on, get in the seat, and see if our adjustments worked here. We've had a great weekend and 2 6th place finishes, so I would really like to match that tonight. If not, go farther forward. If we really nail it and things go our way, I know we got a good chance. Here, come closer. What are the chances? 2 flats in one night. What did I run over as a muffler?
Yeah.
I guess a muffler was laying on the track. From what it sounded like, multiple laps. I mean, that's a slice. So yeah, like, what are the chances of that? 2 flat tires in one night. I feel like, you know, you maybe get a flat every once in a while, or a track takes rubber, and you know, everyone's trying to make their tires last. But when do you run over something in your heat race? That costed us a dash spot, because even though I ran a sloppy heat race, if I would have ran 4th, I would have been in the dash. Then I was rolling all right early. I kind of was working the bottom. I should have moved up just a little bit sooner. That was probably my only ordeal, is, you know, I probably was 3 or 4 laps late to moving up, and a lot of guys were just ripping around the high side. That water did, you know, widen out the racing surface, so I will give them some props for that. And I was just trying a lot of different things, running the top, kind of running like a cut down line, trying to run the bottom and stick it, make it, you know, much shorter. And then all of a sudden, this is just what my crew is telling me. I don't even remember seeing it, or it happened so fast it didn't even feel like this. But I went into turn 3, and all of a sudden I'm leaning like this, and I knew my right rear was flat again. So it sounded like there was a muffler in the track. For some reason, they did not throw a yellow, which is very disappointing, because I got a flat from it. I know at least one other driver did, and, you know, maybe there's a couple of us that all had issues. But yeah, I mean, just not cool. Like I said, I mean, that second flat tire of the night, I just can't believe that happened. Like, that's unbelievable. Thanks again to my super sister for getting me back out once again. And I think I came home 10th out of 13 cars. The right rear that we put on, like I said, it was just good enough to go back out. It wasn't really close to what we had on before. So my car was very, very tight, and it just didn't drive that great. So is what it is. At least I was able to finish out the feature and get some more laps, but very disappointing, because I think if everything would have went our way with us running 7th, you know, maybe if we would have had a yellow while I was there, you know, maybe I could have moved forward and ran, you know, 4th or 5th or 6th. It just, you never know. I felt like we just needed a chance to regroup, and then I could have battled with some of those guys. Well, and just like that, fastest 4 days in motorsports is complete. Definitely a tad bit disappointed with how tonight went, considering we qualified so well, which it's kind of been the opposite all of 2022. We've struggled in qualifying and then tried to bounce back the rest of the night, where today, you know, 4th quick. Felt like my lap was really, really good. I was like, dang, you know, we hung right there with those guys. We were faster than some really good cars, and then got the flat in the heat race, flat in the A main event, and you know, the rest of the night was kind of more uphill. Unfortunately, though, you do have that in the sport of dirt track racing. To wrap up today's video, I just want to applaud the Southern Oregon Speedway, the Willamette Speedway, Grays Harbor, all your guys' staff, KWS, as well as all the drivers that supported this whole fastest 4 days deal. Being an Oregonian, it was so cool to run a 410 at all these tracks, and it wasn't like a World of Outlaws deal. Like, this was a West Coast KWS sanctioned event, and it was just so neat that we were able to have this on this Memorial Day weekend. And also a big shout out goes to the fans that were at all these tracks. They were packed. It was so cool to see people excited for 410 sprint cars, so I'm hoping the future is brighter and we can do this more often, you know, throughout our racing season. Also want to give a big shout out to my partners, On-Site Screeners, Fast 4 Media, Lafarge, Pit Stop USA, Earth It Environmental, QRC, Next Gen Def, Carson Oil, ABC Powder Coating, as well as the rest of my crew. It was a good weekend for us. We ran 6th, and then I think technically tonight we came home 9th. I know the car counts were lower, but our speed was definitely there. We ran with some really good guys, and this is only going to help us as we kind of continue throughout our season. And our 410 program this year has been a little bit rough, so that's one thing I was pumped about. I feel more comfortable in it. This car seems to run really well. I do got to go through it this week though and get it ready for its next big show. Anyway, that's gonna end our weekend. We got a 6-hour drive back home to Southern Oregon. Dad's gonna start trucking, and we are gonna get to work and chase that first win of our 2022 season next weekend. See you guys all there. Deuces.